Hey guys, it's Ghost Queen. It's Saturday night. How is everyone doing? I'm running a little late tonight. I'm streaming a little bit later than I normally would on a Saturday night. Please forgive me. Hopefully everybody's still awake. Yeah, and we're going to have a little bit of just kind of a casual stream tonight. Nothing major, a little chitty chat. I had a super busy day today. So I just want to have a kind of laid back, casual, relaxed stream. Nothing too major. Hi, darling. Wayne is in the chat. He's in the other room. He's trying to watch UFC, I think it is. Conor McGregor, I guess, is supposed to be fighting tonight. And he's been looking forward to it, and now he can't find it, I guess. I don't know. He's having some trouble finding it on the TV. I don't know why. Vape 'em if you've got 'em. I forgot my drink. Please hold the line. Oh my goodness, so unprepared. I'll be right back. I am so unprepared, but I don't even care. Talking to myself, and I left my mic on so you can all hear me. Okay. Hi again. I'm back. So it's Saturday night, like I say, Saturn's Day, and we're doing Blue Bayou again tonight. Blue Bayou. I won't give up my day job, don't worry. Singing was never my forte. I think Lori said she's available to mod, so she should be in here any moment now. I don't know, did I send them a link? I may not have. Let me send them a link. My mods. Doot. Doot, doot, doot. So, if you joined me last night, or if you caught the show on playback, we did a little watch party where we watched the documentary about the Sims murder case, and I thought that was fun. I like doing that, and I think I am going to try to incorporate that into my channel on a regular basis. I don't know if I'm going to do it always on Friday nights. Maybe I'll do that at some point during the week as something different to do. Um, but I like that. There's a lot of different shows and movies that I like that I would love to share with you guys and talk about it. I like discussion. Intelligent discussion, of course, but yeah, I like it. That's fun. And it's like we're all watching together, and I thought that was kind of fun and cool. So, I will probably do that again. Tonight, we're not going to discuss the Sims case because I don't want to be super serious. I just want to have like a little bit of a playful, fun hangout tonight. Nothing too major. So, I'm going to wait and do the Sims, continue on with the Sims murder case during the week. But, okay. First off, this is something very girly, so the dudes probably wouldn't be interested in this. But um, magnetic eyelashes, okay? I'm sorry, but these are going to have to be redesigned. It's just not, they're impossible. I love the idea, okay? When I first heard about, or I first saw them in the store, the magnetic fake eyelashes, I'm like, this is fabulous. Love it. What a great idea. You know, it does kind of suck like when you have the glue on your eyelids and such, especially, you know, that skin is so thin and papery, you know, you don't really want that kind of sticky glue on your skin. It's kind of a drag, but so I saw the magnetic eyelashes and I'm like, ooh, this is a great idea. I like it. I bought them, but they're so hard to put on. I mean, they come with a little applicator, which is impossible. Forget the applicator. That's just impossible to use that. But like tonight, I probably spent a good 30 minutes trying to put these things on, and I just can't. I think I got them on one eye tonight, and that was as far as I got. I could not do the other eye for the life of me. And that was just me trying to use like just my fingers. And then at one point I'm trying to use tweezers, but my tweezers are metal, so the magnetic lashes kept sticking to the metal tweezers. Oh my God, what a pain in the ass. Great concept. Redesign the application process. Beauty people, take care of that because it is a really great idea. But they are so difficult to put on at this point until they come up with some new way to get them actually on your face. I don't see anybody really committing to those. It's hard. I mean, I thought fake eyelashes were hard enough in themselves. Just gluing them on is difficult. So, yeah, I don't see that happening until they improve the process. But I like the concept. So that's that. Um, what else? I had a busy, crazy day today. Um, I slept super late. I was up half the night because I got sucked into a show. Last night I was talking about how I love mine hunters with, you know, the FBI criminal profilers and how I'm really into that, and I've read the books and whatnot. And there's a show on Netflix called Mine Hunters. I had never seen it before, and I started watching it last night. I got so sucked in that Wayne actually went to bed before me, which almost never happens. And he was asleep by the time I got into bed. And even when I got into bed, I kept watching it. And I watched it until like 6 in the morning. I just couldn't stop. I was hooked. Such a good show. So if you haven't seen that on Netflix, check it out. Really good. Really liked it. Very enjoyable. And one thing that I found interesting was I'm one of those people that I don't have the best filter, and a lot of times I just say things, and it is what it is. It's not that I can't control myself, it's just that sometimes I guess I'm not as concerned as others about what people think of me or how they're going to react and whatnot. So a lot of times I do just say what's on my mind. But I also think that a lot of times there are subjects that we might all be aware of, and we might all be aware of what the reality is, but it's so not PC to maybe talk about it or to identify the reality that we just act like it's not the case, or we don't talk about it, or at least we don't talk about it publicly or whatnot. But the point that I'm getting to is that um, it has always seemed to me that most of the violent crime done in the world is by men. And, you know, not that I hate men or, you know, I'm a man hater or anything. Obviously, I have a man that I love very much. I have a son that I love very much. I love men. I've had many beautiful relationships with men. But it's true. Most of the violent crimes are committed by men, and it was sort of confirmed for me in that show last night, where one of the FBI mine hunters said to a student in a classroom where he was giving a presentation, he was like, "Yes, most of the deviant behavior comes from men." Sorry, it's like an uncomfortable truth we don't want to talk about, but it's reality. So why is that? Why are men more apt to, I mean, it's got to be a hormone thing. It's got to be connected to testosterone, I would assume. But yeah, why are men more apt to be violent versus women? Not something I'm actually going to delve into, but just a passing thought that came into my head when I was thinking about the show, because I was thinking about it this morning before I went to sleep. Um, if we could fix that problem, and considering, I will just say this, considering that's the case, why do we have all men leaders? It just doesn't seem to make sense to me. But anyway, okay, moving along before all the men hate me for just talking about what's reality. Check out the show, it's really good if you haven't seen it. Okay, next topic, Onision. I'm sure a lot of you are bored of the Onision topic, and I am not going to discuss it forever because I have really no desire to discuss any one person or any one topic regularly till the end of time. It's just not my style and not something I'm interested in. But the more and I'm sort of new to the whole Onision thing. Um, as you know, I wasn't even aware of a lot of other things that went on YouTube. This is all sort of new to me. Within the past year, I've really been exploring all these other areas of YouTube outside of the paranormal. I never really paid much attention to them. Um, I had heard of Onision, though, just because I do have teenagers. And so I have had a little bit of an interest in this whole situation with him having all these accusations have come out against him. And, just being a mother in general, it interests me. The whole thing interests me. And the more I have sort of just watched his videos, watched Chris Hansen's videos, and explored around the internet and whatnot, doing research about this guy, I do think he is sort of an individual that is probably shouldn't be um, someone young children, or not even young children, or even just teenagers, whatnot. Young adults, let's say, anyone under the age of 21, I don't think this is a guy that people should be looking up to. I just don't. Whether he's guilty of um, inappropriate behavior towards minors or not, I just don't think he's a good role model for our younger people. I just don't. I just don't sense a lot of depth there. Um, yeah, he just seems to have character defects. It seems that everyone else seems to sort of think so, and I think I agree. You know, I don't find this to be an individual that I feel has a lot to, woo, there goes my crown, a lot to offer. I just don't. I mean, even if you look at the one video that went viral that sort of put his name on the map, it's just ridiculous. It's utter nonsense. You know, it's him in a banana costume, and I have my banana sensory toy here to play with. It's filled with sand. It's very phallic. But it's so vapid and just there's just nothing. I see nothing of value from this character at all. I just don't. Um, so Shan Camp will be happy that, I mean, I see things that he does that can be sort of funny and amusing, you know, but his whole sense of self just seems so off to me. It just, um, he's essentially just trying to convince a lot of younger women that he's this big famous guy. And, you know, I guess you could call it the fake it till you make it thing. And, you know, if you convince enough people that you're famous, maybe you'll get there. But he's not really a very good actor, and that seems to be what he wants to do. Um, I think he's probably getting nervous because, aside from whatever criminal charges might actually come forth against him, I'm sure this has hurt his income tremendously. And I think that will probably only continue to increase, that his means of income is dwindling. And of course, he's not going to admit that to any of you, but I'm sure that's happening. And I'm sure he's in a panic because he's never done anything else. And if this won't work for him, I'm sure he doesn't know how he will make money, which is a shame. And, you know, but I think that should be a wake up call, too, to a lot of people who get on YouTube and think they're going to, you know, just become wealthy, you know, making YouTube videos. Probably not. Probably not. Have a backup plan. That's my advice. And yeah, you know, all right, let's put it this way. If you're a fan of Onision, I could just probably, in a very short amount of time, come up, you know, I know how he likes to do those lists, like 10 of the blah, 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 blah. I could come up with 100 better things to do other than watching Onision, like, very quickly. It's a big world. There's a lot of things to give your energy and time and focus to. And I just don't see why you would give it to him. It just seems like a waste of time to me. It really does. I can think of so many other better things, you know, to put your focus into that would be of value rather than watching that individual. So, yeah, if any Onision fans come across this video, seriously, if you want some advice on better ways to make use of your time, hit me up. I can advise you on a lot better ways to spend your time. And, you know, I know a lot of young adults, especially that age, like late teens, early 20s, you know, hey, they like to fluff around, you know. They like to be lazy. They like to waste time. I get it. I remember what it's like being that young, too. But even doing that, even if you just want to do nothing and relax and be entertained or whatever, passively, you know, take in information, I can still think of a billion better ways to do it. I just can, you know? So, yeah, he does not care about you. He's using you for money. So just, if there are any young women out there who are somehow deluded into thinking that individual gives one flying fuck about you, please reconsider that notion. He does not care about any of his people. He is just doing this for money. So, if nothing else, at least don't delude yourself. I would beg these women, young women, to please don't delude yourself. That gentleman does not care about you in any way, shape, or form. Okay? So that's pretty much it. And like I say, I don't really see me talking a lot more about him because frankly, I'm starting to think it's a waste of my time and effort and focus and energy as well. I think I've seen and learned all I need to. And yeah, I think that's a wrap for me. Hey, Lori, thanks for coming in and modding. I really, I really have no interest in just making videos about Onision to get the clicks or to try to draw people to my channel or whatever. That's just not me. It's not my style. Like, if I'm talking about something, it's because I genuinely want to talk about it. And yeah, I don't really see that there's anything more to discuss about that individual. I just don't. He very well could be like a narcissist or a sociopath. I don't really sense a lot of talent there, and not a lot of depth. And yeah, just your average run-of-the-mill YouTube cult leader. Nothing all that new and interesting. That's my personal opinion. You don't have to agree with me. But there you have it. I think that's it. I think that's a wrap for me talking about Greg Jackson, James Jackson, whatever his fucking name is. I don't think it's worth me discussing further. So, that's that. I'm not making a promise that I'll never bring it up again, but most likely I won't be discussing that subject too much further. So, as I say, vape them if you got them. What am I vaping? I'm vaping banana cream pie tonight. On my Geek Vape, my Zeus vape as I call it. I need to get new coils for my Fat Rabbit tank with my Voopoo. And what do I have in here? Oh, I don't know. That's tasty too, though. Oh, I know what that is. There's a little bit too much airflow going on or something. I'll show you what both of my juices are, in case anyone is interested. I'm vaping banana cream pie by, what's this company? The Basics series from Glass. It's this one. I really like it. There we go, nice and focused. And then in my Voopoo 2, I'm vaping Flaky French Crumbs. What company is this? It's a crunchy French toast. And I do like it. It's yummy. I'm not sure which company this is. I guess, is that it? Is it Crumbs Vapor? Maybe that's what it's called. Yeah, I guess that is what it's called. Crumbs Vapor. And the flavor is crunchy French toast. That's also very yummy. I am picky about my juices, and those are two I really like. They both smell really, really good. 5,000 subs with no videos. We can't hear you, by the way. Oh, a troll. It's been a while. I guess the trolls heard me talking about how I don't get trolls in here, so they decided to troll. Wayne, you can hear me fine, right? I can see that I'm... Yeah, that's probably because I have never purchased subs, and that's not been my big concern. But I'm glad that that makes you feel special in the world. Lori, I think we need to see this troll out the door. Bye. You could have been like nastier, your one chance, I suppose. Cute little pink guy though, I like that. That's cute. Why do I feel like that might be someone I know? Yes, just go ahead and show them the door. Anyway, so moving along. Yeah, I think I'm done talking about Onision. It's just a really, ooh, there goes my crown. I think I'm going to take the crown off. It keeps sliding off. I think that's just a waste of my time. So no more of that. No more Onision. That's it. That's a wrap. So I slept late this morning. I didn't wake up until almost 1 o'clock, I think. And I had a little cuddle with Wayne, and then I got up, and then my neighbor, who I'm friendly with, Tina, she's a new friend of mine, she called me, and she had this really cool Camaro, like hot rod, and white with a like really rumbly engine, real hot rod, nice car, and tinted windows, the whole bit. And she called me up, and she has a son that's deaf, and I've been practicing a little bit of my sign language with him, which is cool because I hadn't used it in such a long time. And she's trying to find her car. It got stolen. Someone actually, she thinks it's somebody she knows, that went into her home while she was sleeping, took the keys, and stole her car. And she's trying to find it. So I was, it was a nice cuddle this morning. It was. It always is. Love sleeping with you. Anyway, stop distracting me. You have me all the time. So, yeah, I was trying to help her find her vehicle today, and I gave her a reading today as well, and visited with the puppies, who are just getting more and more adorable by the day. And two of them, three of them are sort of like, there's 6 puppies altogether. I guess really 4 of them are sort of very much like the mother, and just kind of like a beigey, tannish color, and brown eyes, and you know, they're adorable and they're cute and they have fantastic personalities, and I'm sure they'll make wonderful pets. But there's the other 2 out of the litter are the ones that I really like, because one of them kind of almost has that St. Bernard type look to it. You know, it's got the white and the brown, and I love St. Bernards. And then it has one brown eye and one blue eye. And then the runt of the litter is a smaller, obviously, because she's the runt. And the one that looks like a St. Bernard that I like is a male. And then the runt of the litter, she's smaller, she's very timid, but very sweet. And she has almost like that marbled look coloring to her, almost like a Catahoula type coloring. And she also has one very light blue eye. So I'm really interested in both of these pups, and we have to talk Wayne into it. They're adorable. Anyway, so I played with the pups and helped her watch the house for a little while, helped her look for the vehicle. I went on a really long bike ride. I went to visit another neighbor who lives on a different street that I know, who he's needed some help trying to find some cats of his. He takes in a lot of stray cats. And I went and chatted with him just to see if he'd seen this car as well. And I ended up just kind of, it was so beautiful out, and I was having such a nice time. I took like a really long bike ride. And it was dark before I even came home. And I put all the lights on my bike, and it was fun. It was a good afternoon and evening. And a lot of good exercise too, which God knows I need. And then I saw my girlfriend again and her son, and then I came home, and Wayne and I ordered our favorite pizza tonight, Nola Pizza. I think tonight was the best we've ever had it. It was so good. I got a mushroom pizza. I would have kept eating it, except I got full. It was so yummy. And I was laughing because Marcy had posted on Facebook about how the spirits had been telling her in a spirit box session to order pizza. I don't know why, but I was thinking it was so good. Oh, I love that pizza. So that was yummy. And we stopped at this little store where they sell a lot of funky stuff. Came home, and that's pretty much it. Then here I am. Rushed to stream. So yeah, busy day, but good day, fun day. And like I say, Wayne is trying to watch UFC, and I'm sure a lot of the dudes will be watching that tonight. Not my thing, but I know he likes that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's what's happening there. Not too much else going on. Quiet day. Kind of a relaxing day. It's the weekend, so what are you going to do? I talked to my son. Couldn't get a hold of my daughter. She's oh my God, so busy with her life right now with all her girlfriends and friends in general. So that's the scoop. I am going to read from the spell book because I haven't done that in a little while for today. Okay. April 18th. Mud Mask Spiritual Battle Spell. What you will need is cosmetic mud or a clay mask, water, and a mirror. If you find yourself facing spiritual challenges, do this working to give you a bit of an extra boost. Mix the mud or clay with a little water at a time until you've created a thick paste. Looking into the mirror, use a finger to paint designs on your face. You can even paint your arms, legs, or any other body part. As you do, say, I am a warrior and I am fierce. I am mighty and I am unstoppable. I am brave and I will not be defeated in this life or in the next. Repeat this mantra 6 times for a total of 7. Getting increasingly louder and more ferocious, by the 7th time you should be shouting into the mirror. When you've finished, let out the most primal battle cry you can. Take a few moments to imagine yourself defeating your spiritual enemies, and then hop into the shower to rinse away the clay. That sounds interesting, and the other thing I would say is you could also draw sigils on yourself with the mud. And you can actually now buy body paint markers. I think I saw them at Target. Probably Walmart has them as well. You could also draw sigils on your body with those. So some ideas for that sort of thing. What was I thinking about the other day? Something having to do with crystals that I was going to mention, but maybe it'll come to me as I'm continuing along with the show. Yeah, that's fine, Wayne. You don't have to watch the whole time. Oh, hi, Teresa. Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, you're cutting his hair. That's funny. um, so I've been looking into some sewing machines. I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys or not. I'm wanting to get a sewing machine. There are several things I'm thinking about making, and I want to get one that has the capability of doing simple embroidery. Years ago, this is actually before I ever got into the yachting industry, I worked for a friend of mine in Newport, Rhode Island, who I knew from Boston. We had lived in the same sort of high-end apartment building in Kenmore Square. And he lived in an apartment with his twin brother. Their names were Robert and Walter, and very good-looking set of twins who lived in the same building as me. And it was a really nice building, like, you know, concierge, the whole bit, parking underground. Funny story, was parking my Corvette in the parking garage one night. I think I had been out like at a club or something in Boston, and I looked on my dash and I had the roof off the Corvette, and there was an iguana sitting on my dashboard in Boston, in New England. Like, where this thing came from, I do not know, and I ended up keeping it as a pet for ages. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But we had a lot of crazy times back then. It was crazy days. Anyway, so I had these friends. I won't say their last name, but they were good friends of mine, and I didn't see them for years. And then I moved to Newport, Rhode Island, and it turned out that one of the twins had opened an embroidery shop right in Washington Square in Newport. And he did, like, you know, embroidery on hats and shirts and shit like that. And I ended up working for him first just as a salesperson, and eventually I managed the shop. And so I do know quite a bit about embroidery. And he used to get some big accounts too. Like, he did the Navy War College on a regular basis, and a lot of yachts, and a lot of businesses in Newport. So I worked for him for a couple years before I got into yachting. Um, but at any rate, so like I say, I do know quite a bit about embroidery and the embroidery business, but I don't know about little small machines. And like I say, I'm looking for a sewing machine that can do at least some small amount of embroidery. And I did have a little look, but I have a friend in California, also from my Boston days, who he was a clothes designer, and he went on to do set design. Now he does set design for he has some really big accounts. He did some of the set design for American Horror Story, and some other TV shows and big companies and big events and the whole bit. So I did contact him and asked him if he could advise me, but he works with mostly industrial machines, so he didn't really seem to know if any of these smaller machines, which one is better than the other. So I think I'm just going to pick one, and I have an interest in making some, like, altar cloths, also just some tablecloths and various. I like working with different kinds of fabric, even when I'm just taking photographs of some of the Dark Star equipment and stuff. So, you know, and making these little backgrounds and whatnot. And I just feel like I want a sewing machine. There's a lot of different projects I feel like I would need it for and use it for. And for instance, Fumble Bunny. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for coming back in. Um, you know, I have those bear backpacks that I love, and everyone loves them. Every time I go out, and I have them, somebody comments. Um, and I thought it would be really cute to make like a voodoo doll one. um, and I'm sure I could. And then there's some other things that I want to make. Various things that I thought having a little sewing machine would be a good idea. So yeah, looking into that. And what else? Um, Juju's having a little bit of an issue that's concerning me. It's not huge, but she has some little patch above her eye um, that is just not going away, although I haven't treated it at all. So I think I'm going to try to treat it with some of my home remedies. But if that doesn't work, we might have to take her to the vet. Um, yeah, I don't know if it's something she caught or whatnot, but it doesn't seem to be going away on its own. So I'm going to try, like I say, I'm going to try to treat it myself. And if that doesn't heal, then I'll take her to the vet. Yeah, I mean, I can hand sew fine, but probably not the neatest of stitches. You know, like sewing machines, they make a nice, even, straight, or even fancy stitch. Um, and I can hand sew. I've even made like dog toys myself and stuff. And it's not hard to hand sew, but it's very time consuming. And you know, whereas if you have a machine, it's just like. And I had a machine once, and I loaned it to a girlfriend of mine, my girlfriend Joan Jolly, who lives in the Boston area, and she does like event planning and that sort of thing. And yeah, I think I just never got it back from her. It's not like she kept it in any kind of, you know, bad way. I think I just never asked for it back. And by now, that was a long time ago, so I'm sure that machine is probably obsolete because everything advances so quickly with technology. So that's one thing I've been thinking about. And it's going to be the dark moon next Friday, if you follow such things, or the new moon. I have some things planned for that day. Yeah, embroidery is different. Um, I don't even know if you can embroider by hand. I suppose you can, but I've certainly never done that. Yeah, and for the type, I'm thinking like, all right, I found this girl on Twitter. She makes these gorgeous capes, absolutely beautiful. And I was like, I would like to make one of those for myself. Just because I'm so picky about fabrics and design style and buttons and whatnot. I don't, and she charges a lot of money for them. You know, they are pricey. They're like $300, I think, for a cape. And not saying they're not worth it. I'm sure they are. You know, I'm sure that's time consuming and a lot of effort goes into making them. Um, and I've seen some that are gorgeous, but I just feel like that would be something I'd want to make for myself rather than to just purchase, especially for $300. I'd rather just make it myself. And I have always made like my own altar cloths and things like that. And yeah, I just thought it would be handy to have one. There's a few different things I would like to make with them. And there's been many a time where I'm like, oh, I wish I had a machine because I would just make this myself, you know. So yeah, I just think it's something that would come in handy. And let's say I decide to make something for a friend and I want to have their name put on it. The embroidery would come in handy for that. Or if you want to embroider, I don't know, whatever, a little ghost on it or a flower or whatever, a moon, it would be nice to have I'm not talking about a huge, just even just like I was looking at them, like this size hoop, embroidery hoop, to embroider in that kind of area. I think it would be handy to have. I could see myself doing a lot of different things with that. So I've been looking into that. And I have a lot of studying to do that I'm a little behind on, but I'm going to be getting to that. In fact, I'm thinking tomorrow I'm going to try to devote a good part of the day to studying, because I just need to do that. And it's gotten put off a little bit. So yeah, I think I'll be doing a lot of studying tomorrow. I haven't had a chance to review the session that I did asking for Larry, but I will. I'll get to that soon. Oh, don't worry about it, Lisa. It was great to see you on Facebook today and see your face, see a picture of you. I do like to see who I'm talking to. It's just, I don't know. That's just me. Rather than have everyone be anonymous, I like to see who I'm speaking with. So thanks for sending me that message so I could see you. I don't know if you sent me an email, but I will say I didn't even check my email today. I was just going all day. So I wasn't even hardly on social media today at all. Just going. So if you did, I will be checking it probably tomorrow. So yeah, not a lot of new things today. I am going to start also talking about tarot a little bit because I know some people were wanting that to happen. I think I told you I am going to make my own set of oracle cards. I'm going to make a love oracle deck that really for myself, just because I cannot find. Yeah, we have a good crystal book that I'll show you in a second, Lisa. I cannot find a love, romance, relationship type deck that I want to, an oracle deck that I want to use with tarot for love readings. I can't find one that has what I want. So I have decided I'm going to just make my own. I'm going to put my little Ghost Queen logo, the little ghosty guy, on the back of the cards, and then on the front of the cards will be what I want for my own personal readings. And when I do that, and that's not going to happen like tomorrow, I'm sure it'll take me a little bit of time to accomplish that, but once I do accomplish that, I will share the deck with you guys, and if there's enough interest, maybe I'll offer it for sale. It just depends. If there's not a ton, I'm doing this regardless just because I want the deck for my own personal use. But I have found the decks out there in that department to be a little lacking. And so, maybe people will have an interest in this deck. I don't know, but that's not the goal. The goal is to just create a deck that I want, that I can use. But, like I say, maybe other people are finding the same issue that I am, and maybe they'll like my deck and want it. And if so, I'd be happy to sell it. So we'll see what happens. So, yeah, that's another project I am going to be working on. But I am going to start talking about the tarot a little bit. I'm not going to go into a big thing tonight. I was thinking about making a teaching video about tarot, but one of the things that I will say just straight off the bat is, wait, let me just catch up on the comments first. Oh yeah, and let me show you that crystal book before I go on, because I'll forget otherwise. and I'm still after a crystal ball. I don't have a crystal ball, and I really want one. And it doesn't actually have to be crystal. I wouldn't care if it was glass. I just want one that's really big. I don't have a really big one, and I want one. Um, so yeah, but I don't want to spend a lot of money for one. Shocker, right? So,
Connor's back.
what's that, Wayne?
Conor McGregor's fucking back.
What does that mean?
He fucking knocked Cerrone out.
Oh,
He knocked Cowboy out.
did he win?
Fucking knocked him out. Yeah, he won. He knocked
I guess
Cowboy
Conor
out.
McGregor just won. Hold on just 1 second, you guys. I'll be right back. I want to grab that book. Hold
I
on.
don't think Cowboy's ever been knocked out.
Back. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. And I'm munching. We have this little book. I'm sure you can get this on Amazon. I will put a link in the description. Called The Crystal Bible. I love it. It's simple, it's easy, it's small. It's a very handy little reference guide. Nowadays, you pretty much can search up everything online, can't you? But I like this little book. It's got a lot of pictures. And yeah, I have found this to come in very handy. And one of the things I was going to do too is just talk about one crystal per day, way back when. So I'm going to just bring up one tonight, which is hematite, which is a stone that I love. Hematite, you can get it in a raw crystalline form. You can get it just in a raw form where it actually has more of a reddish color. Or you can get it tumbled, which is probably the type that you're used to seeing. It's sort of got that, shiny, almost like a mirror finish. It's kind of like a black, silvery type stone. And it says you can get it silver or red. And it says for appearance, it's brain-like, red or gray when unpolished, and shiny when polished, heavy, and it comes in all sizes. And like I say, it's got like almost like a mirror reflective finish when it's polished. And it says for rarity, it's common. And the source is Britain, Italy, Brazil, Sweden, Canada, or Switzerland. For attributes, hematite is particularly effective at grounding and protecting. It harmonizes mind, body, and spirit. It's used during out-of-body journeying. It protects the soul and it grounds it back into the body. This stone has a strong yang element and balances the meridians, redressing yin imbalances. It dissolves negativity and prevents negative energies from entering the aura, restoring peace and harmony to the body. Hematite is said to be beneficial for legal situations. Psychologically, hematite is strong. It supports timid women, boosts self esteem and survivability, enhances willpower and reliability, and imparts confidence. This stone removes self limitations and aids expansion. It is a useful stone for overcoming compulsions and addictions. Hematite brings attention to the unfulfilled desires that are driving life. It treats overeating, smoking, and any form of overindulgence. Hematite helps you to come to terms with mistakes and to accept them as learning experiences rather than disasters. I like that. Don't catastrophize. Mentally, hematite stimulates concentration and focus. It enhances memory and original thought. It brings the mind's attention to basic survival needs and helps to sort out problems of all kinds. This is a useful stone for the study of mathematics and technical subjects. Physically, hematite has a powerful connection with blood. It restores, strengthens, and regulates the blood supply. It can draw heat from the body. For healing, hematite aids circulatory problems such as Raynaud's disease, I hope I'm saying that correctly, and blood conditions such as anemia. It supports the kidneys in cleansing blood and it regenerates tissue. Hematite stimulates the absorption of iron and the formulation of red blood cells. It treats leg cramps, anxiety, insomnia, and aids spinal alignment and fractures. Use it as an elixir for fevers. For position, you can use it at the base and top of the spine to facilitate spinal manipulation. Hold or place as appropriate for healing or calming. Hematite should not be used where inflammation is present or for long periods of time. And that's it. So that gives you a good example what this book is like. I like it a lot. Very handy reference guide. Love hematite. You find it often in jewelry, so that would be a very good way to wear it and use it. Let me just catch up on the comments here. I have a small one, but not a big one. It's maybe 3.5 to 4 inches. I'm glad Holly Home won. She's our homegirl from Albuquerque. I cannot type tonight, and it's making me irritable, laughing out loud. Lisa, I have a small one too. It fits in my hand. I bought mine at Tuesday morning 15 years or so ago. They do, Heather. I've seen it on there. I got a hematite bear from my son. It's a necklace. I told Heather about it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm remembering that now that you're saying it. Yeah, I really like hematite. It's very pretty, and I've worn it for years. And various, it's very common to see like hematite bracelets and stuff. It's just such a pretty stone. I really like it a lot. And yeah, there you have it. Great stone to work with. I am a believer in crystals and crystal work. And yeah, Teresa, if you want to put a link in the chat, feel free. Yeah, I love hematite. It's so nice. And yeah, I was one of those kids that used to break open thermometers and play with the mercury. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. It looked so fun. And it was. It was so fun to play with. And I have been... there's a guy on YouTube that has a channel, and some of it is a little out there, but I think he's very intelligent. I don't always agree with every theory or idea that he has, but I agree with a good fair amount of them. And once again, after the show, I will put a link in the description to his channel if you want to check him out. It's a little bit conspiracy theory, but he's very intelligent, and he comes up with a lot of really interesting stuff. I will say there are a lot, he seems to have a lot of Christian viewers, and I definitely don't always agree with a lot of his viewers, and they're the world is ending, second coming type bullshit. But I agree with a lot of stuff that he often has to say, and he's called Mud Fossil University, I think. But just his research into these mud fossils is fascinating, I think. And you should check him out. It's interesting stuff. I come across some interesting people on YouTube. Um, Believe it or not, I really don't watch a lot of paranormal channels anymore, like people doing sessions and stuff. I mean, I might check somebody's stuff out once in a while, but like, I don't have a lot of interest in watching other people's sessions. And, you know, I certainly don't want to like be analyzing other people's sessions when I feel like it's so tedious and I have enough of my own shit to do when it comes to that. So, and a lot of the people, a lot of the paranormal people on YouTube are fake, you know. So I just don't watch a lot of paranormal people on YouTube, but occasionally I'll just bop around YouTube and find interesting things to check out. And this guy, he's one of the things, one of the channels that I find interesting. He's got some interesting stuff. Um, oh, very cool. Well, I am friendly with Uncle Birch, who I found via Freighter Xavier, and I actually have taken classes from Uncle Birch, and he had a shop. I think he still does online, but he was out of California, and he had a physical shop in LA, in Hollywood, I believe, for a long time. Years, but then eventually he switched to an online shop, and his shop is called the Sacred Grove, I believe. Um, Once again, and Teresa or one of the mods, please remind me if I forget um, to put a link to his shop in the description. And he does teach what he calls witch school, and he just moved to New Orleans with his wife, who I'm friendly with. His wife, also a really nice lady, and she does a blog, or she used to in California, where she would find places in LA that were dog friendly, which I thought was really interesting. And she said she might do that here in New Orleans as well. And yeah, so it's great to welcome them to the area. And yeah, he's got a lot of, like, you know, he makes his own oils and stuff like that. Um, Incense, you know, all sorts of supplies you can get through his website. I believe it is called the Sacred Grove. I love selenite. I have a little selenite tower. I love selenite. I love to put the selenite tower on my third eye. I do it a lot. I love selenite. I can't rave about it enough. Love it, love it, love it. It's very soft. You do have to be careful with selenite. It can break or chip or scratch real easily. But I love selenite. And they make some gorgeous, like, selenite candle holders and stuff like that. Um, yeah, Uncle Birch. But his, let me just look. I bet I can find it if I just do a quick search. And then I can send it to you. I don't know even if I know how to post a bloody link in chat, if you can believe that. Hold on. Witchcraft. Da 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 da. Yes, it's the Sacred Grove Store.com. That's the website. So it's the THE Sacred SACRED Grove GROVE store STORE.com is his website and his little shop, and he does sell quite a few different things in there. Yeah, so you can check that out if you need some supplies. What's your question, Lisa? I'm going to just read about selenite since we were talking about it too. But go ahead and type your question. Selenite. Pure white, orange, blue, brown, or green for colors. It has a few different pictures. It shows a white satin spar, or what we would think of as a wand. It shows an egg, a pillar with a gateway, and it shows it in orange brown, and you can see the pictures right there. And for appearance, it's translucent with fine ribbing, which is called satin spar, or coarser ribbing, fishtail, or petal-like, which is called desert rose. And it comes in all different sizes. It's easily obtained. It's sourced out of the US, Mexico, Russia, Austria, Greece, Poland, Germany, France, and England. Translucent selenite has a very fine vibration and brings clarity of mind, opening the crown and higher crown chakras, and accessing angelic consciousness and higher guidance. Pure selenite is a link to the light body, helping to anchor it in the earth vibration. Selenite is a calm stone that instills deep peace and is excellent for meditation or spiritual work. Telepathy is enhanced by each person holding a piece of pure vibration selenite. The purest translucent white selenite has an ethereal quality and is said to inhabit the place between light and matter. An ancient stone, it is nevertheless one of the most powerful crystals for the new vibration on Earth. Selenite can be used to form a protective grid around a house, creating a safe and quiet space that does not allow outside influences in. Use internally in the corners of the house. A large piece of selenite placed in the house ensures a peaceful atmosphere. Selenite wands can be used to detach entities from the aura, or for preventing anything external from influencing the mind. Carrying the imprint of all that has happened in the world, selenite reaches other lives and is very useful for checking on progress made and for accessing the plan for the present life from the between lives state. It pinpoints lessons and issues that are still being worked upon and shows how they can best be resolved. It can be used for scrying, to see the future, or to ascertain what has happened in the past. Psychologically, selenite assists judgment and insight. Mentally, it clears confusion and aids in seeing the deeper picture. It brings about a conscious understanding of what has been occurring at the subconscious level. This is a powerful disperser and stabilizer for erratic emotions. For healing, selenite aligns the spinal column and promotes flexibility. It guards against epileptic seizures. This stone neutralizes mercury poisoning from dental amalgam and reverses the effects of free radicals. It is an well, considering I just said I played with mercury often when I was a child, maybe that's why I'm drawn to selenite. It is an excellent crystal for breastfeeding and nurturing a child. Its finest healing occurs at the energetic levels. Hold or place in or around the house. Note, selenite dissolves when wet, and that's true. So if you want to cleanse selenite, do not use water to do so. Put it into a bowl of salt. In addition to the generic properties, Different colored selenites have specific properties. Orange brown selenite is Earth's angelic energies and aids in Earth healing. Blue selenite, placed on the third eye, quiets the intellect, facilitates shutting off mind chatter during meditation, and quickly reveals the core of a problem. I think you can use any kind of selenite for that personally. And green selenite assists in working toward the highest good. It makes you feel good about yourself and helps to overcome the effects of aging on the skin and skeleton. Um, Fishtail selenite provides deep healing for the nerves. It is extremely calming, stabilizing emotions and diffusing tension. This form of selenite is often called angel's wing selenite as it facilitates angelic contact. Once again, I sort of feel like regular selenite can do the same thing. Desert rose selenite helps to dissolve self imposed programs that have been running for too long. It releases the program and assists in finding an appropriate replacement. It can be used to strengthen affirmations of purpose. Love selenite, such a useful crystal. In fact, I would say selenite, quartz and selenite should be the two crystals everyone should have. If you have any interest in crystals at all, everyone should have selenite and clear quartz. So anyway, thanks for posting that link, Teresa. And Lisa says, as to cleansing the stones and crystals when you first get them, is it enough to leave them outside under a full moon? Yes, absolutely. In fact, I often cleanse my crystals that way. And I just put them in the yard and I just, during a full moon, and I just leave them there overnight. In fact, one time I forgot them all for like a week. And then I was like searching around the yard, but I found them all. As far as how often you should do that, I think I would say whenever it feels like you have to. I really don't cleanse my crystals all that often. I don't cleanse them when I first get them. I just don't. Some people are really anal about that sort of thing. I'm not. But you can just cleanse them by putting them in moonlight, or you can put them in a bowl of salt. And that should be fine for cleansing. I was attracted to selenite, clear quartz, amethyst, and fluorite right away, all of which I have, and those are stones. You just heard me say I think everyone should have selenite and clear quartz. And yeah, amethyst and fluorite are two fantastic stones, both of which I have. I read to let the stones choose you. Yes, they will. Pick up what attracts you. Absolutely. I would advise the same thing. Go into a crystal store and see what you're drawn to. I'm new at this, but this is what I read. Absolutely. And that's always what I've done. I just go into a crystal store and I see what I'm drawn to. And that's what I get. People need to trust that sort of thing more often. Trusting is hard for people, trusting the process, but you will be drawn to what you need in life. You will. You're always being guided, even though you don't know it. And it's the same thing with when people are new to practicing as a pagan or as a witch, or practicing spell work, magic, whatever. And a lot of times people are like, oh, I don't know, should I worship a god or a goddess, and who should I choose, and what deity should I, and I always say, don't pick anything. Like, don't ever pick. Like, whoever is you're supposed to work to, like, they will come to you. You will be guided, and you'll know when you're hooked up with the right entity. And whether that's angels, whether it's demons, whether it's, Greek gods or goddesses, whether it's Irish, you know, and don't necessarily assume because you have Irish ancestry that you should be working with Celtic gods and goddesses. It doesn't always work that way. So just if you're getting into that sort of path working, that's, you know, if you're leaving, especially if you're leaving behind, let's say, Christianity or Catholicism, and you're going down a new spiritual path. And I would say the same thing if you're, you know, suddenly taking an interest in, um, you know, Buddhism. Even if that, you know, even if that's the path you're going, whatever path you're going down, don't just randomly pick a deity just to have a deity that you can point to and say, oh yeah, I work with so and so, or I worship so and so. Don't do that. You know, it'll never work well. Just go into it with an open mind and study and learn and research and educate yourself and follow the path, and the path will guide you. So, yeah, that would always be my advice. With most things, you have to keep an open mind because you can't limit yourself too much, because you might be cutting off a path that is valuable and important. That's my personal opinion. Yes. Yeah. Well, one thing I can say for sure is we're definitely more alike than different, no matter what our beliefs are. And I do believe that we're all connected. And the one thing that always makes me the saddest, and more than anything, is how alone people feel. That always makes me really sad, how alone people feel in the world. You know, and people can feel alone even when they aren't alone, you know. God knows, you know, and when I say God knows, I always say that is just an expression, but you know what I'm saying. How many people in relationships have you seen coupled up where one person feels particularly alone and lonely, even if they have a partner? Like, you can feel lonely even if you're in with someone, you know. There are teenagers and families who feel very alone in the world. And the egg. I've been studying Buddhism, actually. Just found out about Won Buddhism in Korea. They revere the circle. Interesting, since so do many other cultures. Um, the circle is very powerful. You know, one of the things that I learned, you know, is that when you know how when you're a teenager and you're crushing on someone and you make a little heart and you write your name and their name in there? I think I learned this from Frater Xavier, actually. I'm trying to remember. But you should do a circle and not a heart. And that's a better way to join yourself with that person. Put your name and their name in a circle. There's a lot of interesting cultures out there. There's a lot of interesting beliefs. Yeah, I studied Buddhism a long time ago. You know, I was really into it. You know, I've studied a lot of different things, but I also do have respect for all religious beliefs and spiritual practices. I do mock Christianity a lot just because it's mostly like the fanatic Christian that really gets to me. Um, but that, you know, I grew up with a lot of Catholicism, and um, I respect that, and you know, that'll always still be part of me. And what was I going to say? I love the Jewish faith. You know, I have a lot of interest in Jewish mysticism, and there's all sorts of things I'm interested in. I don't ever think you should limit yourself at all, in any way. Don't limit yourself. People, keep an open mind. And anyone that tells you that their way is the right way, they don't know. I would never tell anyone my way is the right way. My way may not be the right way for you, you know. Find your own path. So, yeah. Yeah, oh, but anyway, back to what I was saying, right. That always makes me feel really sad when people feel so alone. And it just seems, loneliness seems to be one of the um, most common, you know, of the human conditions, is to feel lonely and to feel alone. And, you know, if I feel like if people only knew, you know, you're never alone, you know. It might feel that way, but you're never alone. And um, no matter how alone you feel, there is and I've often said this, there is someone out there that um, loves you, that thinks about you, um, and who would be, you know, devastated at, you know, at losing you, whether you know it or not. Heather, I have had 2 death dreams that caught me a lot. One of them, I am 100% sure I was experiencing a death from a past life. I drowned and went through the whole process. I absolutely believe in being able to recover past life memories. And I actually experimented with a girlfriend of mine when we were young. We were only teenagers, and we were practicing trying to hypnotize each other and regress each other to our past lives. It was really crazy, and this is the type of stuff I used to read about as a teenager. And she's since passed, which is sad. Um, this was my girlfriend that lived in Florida, and she was my summer friend. And um, you know, she left behind children as well, so it's very sad that she passed. But yeah, and we were able to recover some past life memories then. And I just think there is more, you know, it makes me think of that line from Ghost Story, that old movie Ghost Story, you know, where the ghost, she's like, I will show you things you have never seen. I will take you places you have never been. You know, like, I just think there's more out there than really anyone has any awareness of. And I really, you know, I don't think we are meant to know it all now. And human beings are enormously curious, and they want all the answers. Women in particular, you know, we're so analytic, and we're so, you know, we need to have the whys for everything, you know, and it's why we overanalyze in relationships. And, you know, we want the whys to everything. And I just don't think you're always meant to have all the answers and all the whys. And sometimes I do believe it's the quest that's important, and it's the journey, and it's the seeking, and it's the path more than the destination a lot of the times. So, yeah. Um, but there's so much despair in the world, and so much sadness, and so much pain, and so much suffering. And if you learn nothing else in this lifetime, I think you need to learn that why add to someone's suffering? You know, the world is just full of suffering, and that's a hard nut to swallow. You know, as children, we're so desperate to become adults, and we think it's just going to be such a, you know, such a carnival. And in some ways it is, but there is a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain, you know, that just comes part and parcel with life, is pain and suffering. And you can't escape it. There's nothing you can do to escape it. Everyone experiences pain and suffering. And it doesn't matter how good your relationship is, or how much money you have, or no one escapes pain and suffering. So It's part of the human condition. And I think once you sort of accept that, life becomes a little bit easier. Because then you do really appreciate when you're not in pain and suffering. And I think you can almost always find a silver lining out of almost any negative situation. You know, you might, it just depends on your attitude, and I think attitude is very important. My boyfriend had a dream that his sister got into an accident. Found out later in the day that she did get into one. Had some guy run her off the road and she hit a fence. Ooh, that's awful. I believe the earth plane is one of the hardest places to incarnate. I agree. But one of the most beautiful too. Like, you know, I mean, nature is beautiful. And look, I am a moody motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie. I am a moody motherfucker. Like, I am moody, you know, and I can get into broody, moody moods. But I also can experience like great joy, you know, in the same day. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. I really, I think I spent so much of my life trying to escape the hard stuff and the bad feelings and all that. And it's just, I think one of the things I finally learned as an adult was the sooner I faced those difficult emotions and feelings, and the sooner I just immersed myself in them and experienced them, the more quickly I could then move on to something different. So, you know, if I'm having like a bad day, I've gotten bad news, or something didn't go the way that I wanted it to, for me, what works is to just kind of immerse myself in being bummed out or depressed or let down or angry or whatever it is. And then if I just kind of marinate in it, then that's, it passes more quickly, and then I can move on to a different state. And I don't know, you know, like I say, just because something works for me doesn't mean it will work for everybody else, but it works, that works for me. And the sooner I can like snap out of it and be joyful again, or at least content, if not joyful. I mean, we're all on a quest to be happy, but nobody is joyful, you know, 24/7, and that's not realistic, you know. You can't constantly be up, you know, and you can't constantly be down, you know. There's, it's about balance. Yeah. Yeah. So, like I say, I'm no guru. All I can do is talk about my own life experience and my own observations, life observations, and that's it. And share about what I've learned along the way. And I don't know. I like to learn, and I'm constantly learning things from everyone, you know. Everyone has something to some kind of wisdom to impart, um, whether they know it or not. So, yeah. Even in Enision, can't believe I said that. But it's true. Like, everyone has some kind of wisdom to impart. You shouldn't ever hold yourself like really high above anyone. Um, you know, and people have different modes of expression too. You know, whereas like I know for me, I always felt very frustrated trying to communicate things verbally, because I felt like I can't speak like I think in my brain, and I always felt like I sounded really stupid in my brain. My thoughts were a lot smarter than whatever came out of my mouth. I could never communicate the way that I thought. And, you know, and some people might, you know, maybe they don't have a large vocabulary, but maybe they have a lot of emotional intelligence, you know, or maybe someone isn't good at socializing, yet they're a genius at, you know, fixing cars. You know, like whatever it is, like everybody has their own talent and something in life that they're good at, and everybody has something in life that they're good at, you know. So, and we can't all be, you know, teachers, and we can't all be police officers or doctors. You know, some people have to take out the garbage, and some people have to, you know, fix up the dead bodies for burial, and you know, like all jobs matter, and yeah, everybody has a purpose, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Hey, Shan, how are you? So that's that. I think I got off the track a little bit, but that's okay. That's kind of what I like to do for some of these little vloggy, hangouty shows. It's just go where it takes us. Conversation is always good. I'm actually munching on my nerd ropes so bad. Yeah, I'm a different person with each wig. That's why I love them. Mm-hmm. Definitely. When I put this wig on, I said that to Wayne actually. I go, I love these wigs. They turn me into a different person, each one. That's absolutely true. And that's okay. I was fascinated with Sybil when I was a kid. That book? Fascinated with multiple personality disorder. And I love that character. What is that movie? I don't think Wayne's listening anymore, but we watched it. The Beast is on the move. What is that movie? And I think they made a few of them because I watched another one too that was related. Um, but that guy, what an actor he is. He does it so well. All the different personalities. Don't you think famous people would be like overloaded with ghosts who were fans when they were alive? Well, maybe. I hadn't really ever thought about that, but I would hope that if someone passed and was in spirit form and was, I think I just dropped one down my sports bra. I did. Um, I would hope that if somebody passed and were semi-aware of their state, that they would no longer be impressed by the person because they were famous. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I saw the movie. I think the book was a little better, but you always hear that, don't you? All right. My ADD is really kicking in because my brain's going crazy thinking about a bunch of different things. Seriously, if you haven't seen Mindhunter and you have Netflix, check it out. It's such a good show. I'm going to watch that. I think I'm going to wrap it up, you guys. I've been streaming for an hour and 40 minutes. It's a little long for me. And I'm clearly getting my sweet tooth's kicking in because I'm eating these nerds. Because I'm getting a little bit of a headache actually, which is really weird because I never get headaches. And Wayne told me when we woke up this morning, the first thing he said to me was, I have a headache. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. And I never get headaches. Hardly ever. I'm almost getting a little bit of a headache. Maybe I've had the wig on too long. It's squishing my brain. But really, I am going to wrap it up. And sorry, no spirit box or anything tonight, but I just kind of wanted to hang out tonight. And oh, that's cool, Lisa. You saw an apparition that was white, opaque, and in the shape of a tall man. I really think I caught a photograph of a light being in my living room in Massachusetts, which I love. The show is Mindhunters. I binged watched it last night and on Netflix, and I loved it. I mean, I got so sucked in. I'm still sucked in. I'm gonna watch more of it tonight. I do actually have a friend that is friends with. This is a guy I went to high school with, who was a detective for years. He worked with, unfortunately, the really horrible cases of like child sexual abuse and whatnot. And he has friends that are in the FBI, and he's told me some really interesting stories about people in the FBI. Good advice. So, a little bit of a casual show tonight, but we talked about some interesting things. Some good subjects were brought up, and talked about a few interesting crystals. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Talking about tarot, one thing that I don't feel like people really understand about tarot is that it's about a life journey, and it's a journey through the cards, and then the cards in the minor arcana from 1 to 10, each one relates to a card in the major arcana, and it's once you sort of understand that and understand some of the journey that tarot takes, it does make it easier to learn, and that is part of why I sort of wanted to make a video about it. I don't think it's. I know a lot of people are intimidated by learning the cards, but I think once you understand it in a certain way, it makes it easier to learn, and I think it depends on how it's taught to you too. So, yeah. I guess I've sort of procrastinated making that video because it's going to be an extensive one, and but I would like to do a little teaching video about that, and then maybe what we could start doing too is like the same way that I talk about the crystals, I could talk about like one card each time too, because I know a lot of people have an interest in learning the cards more. So yeah, and that's a great form of divination. I love it. All right, let me stop munching on sugar. Wrap it up. I love you guys. Have a great night. Feel free, if you ever have anything you want to ask me privately, always feel free to contact me. If I can help with anything in any way, I'm always happy to. And hope everybody had a great Saturday night. And I hope you continue to have a great Saturday night and that you have a good sleep. And make sure to mind your self-care, especially this time of year. Make sure to get outside and get your face in the sun. Drink lots of water. Stay hydrated. And get some exercise every day. Take your vitamins, although it is better to get your vitamins from healthy foods. I will say that. But never can hurt to take a multivitamin every day. At least I take several vitamins every day if I remember to take them. And especially in the winter months, try to make sure your immune system is high and functioning well. And you can look up online different ways to boost your immune system. And yeah, be good, but not too good. And be happy, be kind, be loving, be generous, be forgiving. Be as consistent as you can. Be smart and be compassionate and be empathetic. And tell your loved ones everything you want to say, because you never know which day is their last day. Or yours. And I will definitely see you tomorrow at some point during the day. I don't know if it'll be during the day or in the evening. So please make sure that you've subscribed and you've hit the bell so that you get notified when I go live, because sometimes I just pop on. And please give this video a like and share it with your friends if you think they'd be interested. And until next time, I bid you adieu. And I am out. And that would be a poof. Good night, guys. See you soon.